The new parts have arrived from the factory without issue. They'll be fitted to the car in time for the next session.
Cheers, Carl. Carl, for the new parts. Welcome, guys, to a brand new episode of Career Mode, episode number 8. Actually, no, it's 9. Episode 9, the Austrian Grand Prix. We have some ultimate upgrades going on the car in the form of ultimate weight reduction. You can see just the huge spike in performance. We've now leapfrogged Haas, and now we're basically in touching distance of not only Toro Rosso, but Force India as well. McLaren have made some gains, so they have escaped our grasp, I would say. But we'll be looking to probably out-qualify all of those guys if form is good enough in this round here in Austria. But here we are. We also had a ERS upgrade go on the car as well, so hopefully by the end of this episode we can target a ultimate ERS upgrade and then move on to the much-needed power unit upgrades. But anyway, let's go to quali.
Thank you for joining us once again for today's qualifying session. Sit back, relax, and enjoy what we hope will be a fantastic contest for pole position.
I'm going to ask the question, because I did touch upon this last episode. Do you believe, in your opinion, that we have any chance of winning this championship? I'm not sure, to be honest. I feel like it's a pretty big stretch, but if we continue the upwards momentum that we've got at the moment, keep the string of resource points going, we are on a really good run at the moment. We had 4th place in the last episode in France. We won in Monaco, so whatever French-related circuit comes up on the calendar, we seem to do well. So this will be an interesting test. I think from memory, Austria has been a good circuit for us in the past. The AI struggled through the second last corner and the last corner, so we can utilize a bit of speed there. But qualifying 1 went pretty swimmingly into P8, actually. 9 tenths away from the pace setters, which at a track like this is a pretty big margin, to be honest. So we'll see what that means when we get to the crucial sessions of Q2 and Q3. We've got just 15 seconds left to go in this session. We've got the qualifying tyre on the car. We've decided to just use as little tyres as possible, to be honest. I feel like if we are going to make it through to Q3, we want to utilize as little tyre sets as possible to look after us in the race. But through the final couple of corners, this has been a really nice lap. A little bit scruffy there through the final corner. Open the DRS, up to the line. Where does it get us in this session? Is it Q3? No, it's not. It is not a Q3 appearance for this Austrian Grand Prix. We're even faster in this session. We're only 5 tenths away from Charles Leclerc. But when you think about the big picture, we're essentially, well, this could be the best seat in the house. P11, get a start on the super soft tyres. Definitely can do the one stop from there. And for strategy, it really opens it up for us to capitalize on the top 10. So I will not complain with that. But we certainly are knocking on the door now of just being a legitimate top 10 runner now. As long as you can get, fairly close to the midfield runners in terms of your overall car performance. If you're if you've got a good setup on, if you're a decent driver, you can make up the rest at some tracks like this one. But yeah, good start to the weekend. We actually did remember to put our newer engine in the car, so that was definitely a handy touch to have for this qualifying session. You can see that ultimate drag reduction upgrade is very, very tempting. I will get that on the car. Maybe not for Spa, but hopefully Monza. That would make such a difference for our overall straight line Pro S. But yeah, we've got 900 resource points. We'll have a few more if we have a good race today as well. So hopefully that can be the case. But it's time for the Austrian Grand Prix. We are already knocking on the door for some points with a good strategy, with the AI getting involved in their usual shenanigans. There should be a few spots up for grabs inside the top 10. It's time for the race for the Austrian Grand Prix.
A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Let's talk briefly about Kimi Räikkönen. Looks like they've got a tough race in store today, as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
Interesting. There is some talks of some drivers having some grid penalties. Kimi Räikkönen is one of them, and I believe someone else has been shifted down the order a little bit as well. It promotes us into P9 for our starting position in this race. 5 red lights for this Austrian Grand Prix. We're getting into it awfully quickly, but away we go for the midpoint of the season. What can we do now with this B-Spec car? I say B-Spec, shall we say Phase 2 of this Williams F1 car. That's not a great run through Turn 1, it must be said. It just got balked by Sergio Perez there. Don't know what he was doing in Turn 1. We've been jumped by his teammate Esteban Ocon. Let's see if we can dodge him as we go round the outside now into Turn 3. The AI seem to struggle a little bit for traction here as well, so as long as you can plant the power nicely, which this Williams does fairly well now, by the way. That was a big problem for our car at the early part of the season, but honestly, just not struggling for traction anymore, which is very, very nice. But meanwhile, Raikkonen on the attack right beside us. He was actually a lot closer than what I was anticipating here in this middle sector. We hold the inside, squeeze him out a little bit. Not even squeezing him out, we just have the inside and we're able to keep him at bay for the moment. It is P11 once again, so, you know, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, I would say, after being promoted to P9 on the grid. We've got Max Verstappen. A lot of quick guys behind me for some reason. A lot of people getting caught up with grid penalties. That's a huge dive bomb into Turn 3. I was talking about the guy behind me. Little did I know I'd be overtaking... Who was it I overtook? I think it was Ocon. Just look at this dive bomb. It's an absolute torpedo into Turn 3. It was a really nice move as well, to not only get the move done, to get it done cleanly, and then not run into either Ocon or the cars in front. Here's the onboard from Ocon's perspective, just charging in there with no care in the world. To be fair, it wasn't an intentional overtake. I was just braking late, and a bit of a Constantino effect has meant that it looks pretty glorious on my end, on my part. But anyway, lap 4, you can see these guys bottled up quite nicely. Bottas, Perez, and Ricciardo all squabbling for P7 in this Grand Prix. Let's see if we can get a nice exit here. Ricciardo has DRS. It's all a bit of a train at the moment. Very hard to overtake in a situation like this where the car in front of the guy you're trying to overtake is very close. It means that if you do dive, you're at risk of losing your front wing on the next car. We're actually going to go around the outside here into Turn 1. Don't mind if I do. Ricciardo just went a little bit defensive, compromised his run, and we got a nice exit. He's got better acceleration though, better engine in that Renault powered Red Bull, but we have the drag reduction upgrades, which helps us at the top end in 8th gear. I hope that's a really good illustration as to where our car lacks in terms of straight line speed. It's not top end speed, it's just getting up to 8th gear. But anyway, 3 wide just about as we head into Turn 4. I thought about a move on Perez and Bottas, decided to back out of it. It didn't look like it was going to favour all too well for us there. We would have probably locked up and probably made contact, so decided to bide my time. These guys are pretty quick. It's not like they're holding me up all too much. It's just the fact that they're battling and, you know, having to leave a lot of room. Once they sort themselves out, I think we'll be able to run at a decent pace. But there is a huge gap from Bottas to Marcus Ericsson, I would say, who's in P6 in this Grand Prix. We got up the inside of Perez into the penultimate corner, as you guys saw. Nothing really much to be said there. It was a nice move, and now the shift focuses to Bottas. I wonder if he's got front wing damage. It's just like a huge chasm between Bottas and the next car. There's yellow flag back there. I think that's my teammate Stroll. It was one of the light blue markers. He's been involved with one of the Toro Rossos. I would have said he got taken out, but to be honest, it looked like he just went straight on, to be honest. So not a great run for both Brendan Hartley and Lance Stroll. They'll be taking a very long trip through the sand trap and might have to go to the pit lane to, I don't know, clean up their tyres and get any sand and dirt out of their radiators. That's not a great way to embark on the start of this race. But anyway, we're in the slipstream of Bottas here. He's pulling us along quite nicely. We finally cleared all those guys in the midfield, and now we're just edging closer towards the leaders. Hamilton is in for his first of possibly 2 stops today. It's hard to tell. He goes on a super soft tyre, so that probably suggests to me that he's on a 2-stop today. Meanwhile, Bottas has suddenly changed his engine mix down, and he looks very, very vulnerable here. I was only in lean revs, but still closing in on him there. We went round the outside into Turn 3, and that is us up into P6 now. So now is the time to flex the muscles, now that we've got track position. The tyres are in fairly good condition, I would say, despite losing the back end massively there. We've been looking after our tyres quite well in this stint, and now we're going to flex the muscles and see what kind of track position we can get after the first pit stop. And now we have the lead of the Grand Prix. Everyone has made their stops who was on the ultra soft tyres, or hyper soft tyres actually, shall I say. Oh. Oh my goodness, that is Charles Leclerc. I'm just shocked. I'm shocked. Charles Leclerc is out of the Grand Prix with what looks like an engine failure. That is wow, okay. So he was leading the championship, leading the Grand Prix. He has finished every single race except for Melbourne. He's been on an absolute winning streak this season, and there he goes. It all comes tumbling down in a cloud of smoke in that Sauber. There was no safety car deployed out of that, so that won't really help us in terms of our strategy. But man, what a blow for our championship leader, and that further kind of illustrates the point that we could still win this championship if things turn around for us. Meanwhile, around the outside of Van Dorn into turn 3, that was a pretty ambitious move there, trying to get the move done like I did to Ricardo, I think I did earlier on in the race. But we're in the slipstream now, DRS is open, high fuel, and ERS deployment is engaged. For some reason, I don't want to go up the inside. Van Dorn placing his car quite nicely, just able to keep us at bay, and frustratingly, I just couldn't get past, and now he's putting in for possibly his final stop of the day. That gives us P6. So yeah, an interesting old race now. It doesn't matter where we finish now, we will claw back some points on the championship leader, which is something I didn't think I'd say. We've only done that once so far, or twice. Melbourne and Monaco, the only times we've gained points on our old mate Charles Leclerc. And today, even if we just finish the race, we'll be doing some bits. But anyway, we're in the slipstream of Bottas here, just kind of saving fuel, saving ERS at this point. You can see we've got full battery to deploy. I think I'm just waiting for the right moments for Bottas to either, overcook his tyres a little bit too much, wait for him to run out of fuel a little bit, or maybe just wait for him to turn down the either ERS or the engine. But now we've got his old mate, Lewis Hamilton, going round the outside into turn 3. Now is the moment for us to strike while he's distracted with Hamilton. Up the inside into turn 3. It's 3 wide of the apex, no less. My goodness. We got the job done, and that is us up into P5. Romain Grosjean is out of the Grand Prix as well. It's all happening now in this Austrian Grand Prix. Here's the replay. Up the inside of both the Mercedes. These guys will be absolutely hating me at the moment. They could have managed that a whole lot better.
James, it's Valtteri.
Switcheroo!
I mean, what is an F1 video without a little meme here and there? I don't know where I saw that. I think it was Twitter or Instagram. I don't know who made it, but shout out to them. But yeah, what a race we're having so far. We're not only going to gain points on our, former teammate, championship rival Charles Leclerc, but we're in front of both the Mercedes. It's just a ridiculous statement to make with only 9 laps to go in this race. So we're going to press on as much as we can. Bottas is doing the opposite to the team game. He's absolutely holding up his teammate on fresh, super soft tyres.
Right, some information on Hamilton. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
And now he's got a problem. Oh my goodness. If Hamilton has front wing damage, which he doesn't, by the way. Okay, I thought it would have had front wing damage. I thought maybe he ran into the back of his teammate there. That would have been just disaster for that team. But thankfully, it isn't a incident-related issue, and that would have affected him anyway, whether he had track position or not. But I think that's going to be the big get-out-of-jail-free card for us now. That's P5 for us in this Grand Prix. We have the pace over Bottas, surprisingly enough. We have saved our fuel, and our ERS management has been fairly solid, and our tyre wear isn't too bad in this Grand Prix. So now is the time to pull away. The gap is now 1.7 seconds. We're just absolutely gunning for it now to pull away from Bottas and secure this position in this Grand Prix. Absolutely mad. Last lap of the Grand Prix, we're going to get 10 points, for getting 5th place in this race. And Nico Hülkenberg, as my voice is just absolutely dead, is going to win this Grand Prix. He's not got a podium in real life F1, but here he goes with that newly upgraded Renault. Takes the victory, and that might be the first little statement that Renault has to say about this championship bid. For us, what can I say? I'll take the points all day.
Top job, my friend, top job. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but you pulled through. Thank you.
And And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy and to stay out of trouble.
As we can see, it's time for the podium, and I can see the Renault team underneath our commentary box going crazy as their drivers walk out. It was a great win, and it means a great deal to this team.
You bet it does. What a time to get your debut win, just as Renault shoot to the top of the constructors in terms of just raw performance. They have truly made a statement today, a double podium, as Charles Leclerc DNFs gets a big fat 0 points in the drivers' standings. Wow. What? This could be, like I said, a changing of the guard, to be honest. Sauber looking like they're hitting their probably maximum potential, their ceiling, or maybe they're saving up for this ginormous upgrade that's going to absolutely flex on the rest of the field. It's yet to be seen what happens. But there we go. That has been this Grand Prix for today. We still hold 8th in the drivers' standings. A few changes up and down the field. Hulkenberg jumping a few guys. And Renault shooting past Force India in the constructors. So in terms of the gaps, we're not too far behind Hulkenberg, to be honest. And we're in front of Carlos Sainz. So in terms of the Renaults, even though they're still climbing at a pretty alarming rate in terms of car performance, they're not too far away at all in terms of points. So as they improve, we're going to improve with them and stay with them. I'd say it's going to come to a point where probably Renault will stop development, or it'll at least slow down, and they'll start to hit their limits. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll keep going. It's hard to tell what's going to happen, but we're going to keep the development pace as fast as we can to keep up with Renault, and if not, maybe catch them if we can. We'll do the ultimate upgrade, and that will go on the car in time for the Hungarian Grand Prix. So if that goes on the car for Hungary, we can get to Hungary and then work on the engine power upgrade, which will go on the car in time for Spa. Now, for the next episode, we're going to get a potential 600 point resource point bonus if we pass it, whatever it is, and that'll go a long way towards getting that ultimate drag reduction upgrade, and that'll go on the car in time for Spa if we get it on next episode. If not, Monza. That's the plan. We need to take big points of those races. We need to, shore up the weaknesses of this Williams. Once the straight line speed is sorted, my goodness, will we have a package. We have one of the best chassis already. Downforce is solid. It's about a 6 or 7 out of 10. It's fine. We can manipulate, other areas of the setup to make up for a lack of downforce, maybe versus some of the rest of the teams, which is, absolutely fine. But we're looking good at the moment. 4th and 5th in the last 2 races and the win in Monaco. So the momentum at the moment is amazing. Renault, I thought they were the best car, but if their development keeps up, they will be by the time we get to the British Grand Prix next episode. But that's it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more racing game content. I think this could be the best season of career mode we ever have. If we can get close to those front runners. We're a long way behind. We're still like 100 odd points behind. 108 points to be exact from Charles Leclerc. I don't think we're going to win, but it'd take, I don't know, the comeback of history to get this. But if we do get this, my goodness, is this going to be a show. Anyway, that's it from me today. I'm going to push as much as I can to claw back the difference and show just how ridiculously fast and unbalanced the upgrades are on F1 2018, as you guys already know. But that's it from me today. Until the next one, the British Grand Prix. I'll see you next time.